Chapter 40. The Return of Gu Hai. Gu Qin and Gu Han held the railing at the top of the bunker with their hands, their eyes cold as they watched the Sangha sect disciples come in the distance. The breeze was blowing the surrounding grass. There was no blocking object at all in general. "Look, Uncle Bai. It's them, Gu Qin and Gu Han," the previous Sangha sect disciples shouted at once. Uncle Bai raised his head and steeply saw the two brothers in the sky above the bunker. "Someone come. Take them down for me." Uncle Bai let out a cold shout. Yes, the crowd of Sangha sect disciples immediately responded to the chorus, although they were still a little worried about the words on that sign. But there was nothing at all in front of them, so how could there be any great formation? The crowd also relaxed their hearts. Stepping forward, a group of Sangha sect disciples surged into the area of the ancient mansion, along with Senior Uncle Bai. Look, they went in. There isn't a single trace of aura fluctuation, huh? The two liars, Gu Qin and Gu Han. Although Master Bai and his party crossed into the ancient mansion, they were still quite careful, looking at the bunker in case sharp arrows were shot from the bunker. "All right, Senior Uncle, those two little dolls are cheating. Ha ha ha. Senior Uncle, watch me capture them. I'll do it." The crowd of Sangha sect disciples burst into laughter. And right at this moment, Uncle Bai's face abruptly changed, but it was because the Gu Han on the bunker revealed a cold smile. Coaching. Steeply, as if a Sangha sect disciple had stepped on something, as if the sound of flint rang out. Flint. Boom. Approximately tilde. A loud explosion rang out from the group of Sangha sect disciples. The sudden loud explosion blasted the noisy cultivators in the outside world with a violent jolt, and all of them retreated with wildly changed faces. What's going on? How did it explode? Sangha sect disciples. In the midst of the crowd's exclamations of shock, a dozen or so Sangha sect disciples were blown up into the sky. Their arms and legs were instantly blown off, spilling blood in all directions. And at the center of the explosion, smoke rolled out in all directions, and fire shot out in all directions. A series of miserable screams came from the Sangha sect disciples. 10 were dead and 10 were injured. Those who were seriously injured were curled up on the ground, clutching their broken arms and legs, their faces showing horror. Clatter. A large amount of dirt went up into the sky with the explosion, before falling down. The clamor of the cultivators in the four directions was abruptly silent. Everyone held their breath as they watched the tragic scene in front of them. It took a while before there were voices of discussion. Those who trespass into the big formation die. What kind of formation is this? It will explode. The surrounding cultivators once again stepped back a bit. Uncle Bai and the others, however, retreated, each with a face that looked ugly for a while. "Uncle Bai, there really is a formation," a Sangha sect disciple said with an ugly face. In the distance, above the bunker, the two brothers, Gu Qin and Gu Han, had grim faces. The gunpowder wasn't buried enough. Gu Han frowned. "Forget it. There's a large amount of gunpowder buried around here. Slowly blow it up. Let's go." "We should go." Gu Qin nodded. Gu Han nodded. And the two of them slowly walked into the bunker, slowly disappearing from everyone's view. A group of Sangha sect disciples were silent for a while, treating the injured, not daring to approach for half a day. It was only after a while that someone once again looked at Master Bai. "Uncle Bai, what should we do?" a Sangha sect disciple exclaimed. "Ray enter, true chi protection. Let's go in again, spread out and enter from other directions. Catch the two of them for me." Uncle Bai glared and roared. "Yes." A group of Sangha sect disciples surrounded the bunker in all directions as Master Bai gave the order. "Enter, shoo, shoo, shoo." A crowd of Sangha sect disciples immediately surged in. Coaching, boom, coaching, Boom. Ka-ching, boom. Around the ancient mansion, the roar continued. A big explosion followed by a big explosion, exploding the four sides of the cultivators. For a moment of heart trembling, the crowd of Song Armor sect disciples used their true chi to protect their bodies, but the screams continued, one by one. Their arms continued to be blown away, miserable. With the big explosion, in a large part of the place, the four directions of the ancient mansion seemed like the ground shook in an instant. The earth was shaking. Along with this shaking, it seemed like it triggered the gunpowder in some hidden places. Ka-ching, ka-chow, ka-chow, ka-chow. Countless flints that were rubbing because of the earthquake suddenly ignited all the gunpowder in the four directions in general. Boom, with a monstrous sound, all around the ancient mansion, all of them exploded. Even if the true chi protects the body, a group of Song Armor sect disciples were blown up to the sky. What's more, among these explosions, there were also countless pieces of broken iron, and in an instant, a large number of Song Armor sect disciples were shot through by the iron pieces. Ah. Amidst the smoke and dust, the screams were endless. When the smoke slowly dispersed, leaving behind a place of ruins, there were injured people on the ground, and the violent explosion had incapacitated more than 20 of the Song Armor sect's disciples. Only Uncle Bai and the 50 or so injured Song Armor sect disciples ran to the bunker. All of them were covered in black ash and had grim faces. Gu Qin, Gu Han, little brats. I'm going to kill you, Uncle Bai roared. Search, get them for me, Master Bai roared. Boom. With one punch, Uncle Bai punched through the bunker. 50 Song Armor sect disciples angrily rushed in. Outside, countless cultivators gulped as they watched the scene. It's over. Gu Qin and Gu Han are going to be captured. There's no escape. The crowd of cultivators seemed as if they had already declared Gu Qin and Gu Han's death sentence. After all, the duo appeared to have only just reached the innate realm. Master Bai, no. Master Bai, I don't have any here either. Master Bai, I don't have any here either. A shout came from the bunker. Uncle Bai's face was grim as he said, Impossible, I saw them earlier. A group of Song Armor sect disciples, together, surged into it. Sure enough, Gu Qin and Gu Han had disappeared. And not only the two, but also the ancient household servants in the bunker had disappeared. Where are the people? Uncle Bai was holding back a sulk. He searched quickly. My lord, there's a basement here. Someone suddenly called out. Hello. A group of people all ran to the basement door. Uncle Bai's eyelids fluttered furiously. Finally, found you guys. Are you coming out by yourselves, or are we coming to help you? Little brat, get out. A group of Song Armor sect disciples roared. On the other side of the basement door, a whole basement of gunpowder was piled up at the moment, with a flint attached at the doorway. Open it, Uncle Bai called out. Uncle Bai, will it? A Song Armor sect disciple worried. Buzz, all of them shielded their bodies with their true chi. Uncle Bai stepped forward and gave a gentle push. Ka-ching, the sound of flint. Not good. Master Bai let out a roar. Boom, with a super loud bang, the entire bunker exploded open. Where the ancient mansion was, it seemed like a mushroom cloud was formed. Countless debris shot out in all directions, and a large number of cultivators who were onlookers in the periphery were injured by the debris. Shot. Ah. A series of miserable screams rang out. The surrounding cultivators retreated again and again. Everything was razed to the ground in the direction of the smoldering bunker. Countless cultivators stared at this scene with wide eyes. Ancient Qin, Ancient Han, and the Song sect disciples died together. Died together. That's too ruthless, isn't it? Countless cultivators gulped. When the smoke and dust slowly dispersed, a super large pit was revealed. A group of Song Armor sect disciples, basically incapable of action, were almost dead. Only Master Bai was left with a higher level of cultivation, only suffering from not so heavy injuries, his entire body scorched black. How could this happen? How could this happen? Master Bai looked around blankly. The 100 Song Armor sect disciples that he had brought with him were considered to be completely wiped out. Tunnels, senior uncle, there's a tunnel there. A severely injured Song Armor sect disciple weakly pointed not far away. Sure enough, because of the big explosion, there was a place that had collapsed, and the place that had collapsed was a tunnel. Tunnels, tunnels. Gu Qin and Gu Han have already escaped. Is this a trap? A trap to trick everyone into entering the pit? The 100 disciples of the Song Armor sect, nearly all of them had fallen into the pit. Bastards, come out. Gu Qin and Gu Han, get out of here. I'm going to kill you all. Elder Bai was going crazy. Rumble. A rumbling sound came steeply from the distance. Many people turned their heads to look, but they saw more than 2,000 soldiers and horses quickly racing towards where the ancient mansion was. Who said they wanted to kill my son? Among the more than 2,000 soldiers and horses, an angry shout came out abruptly. This angry shout was like a heavenly thunder from the flat earth. The countless cultivators were all jolted by the explosion. All of them turned their heads to look. Rumble. The speed of more than 2,000 galloping horses did not decrease, and above the horses, all of them were dressed in black, with a ferocious look on their faces. And before the people arrived, a murderous aura of the sands came over them. At the head of a black horse, above the black horse, is precisely Gu Hai, angry eyes, long hair flowing up, very wanton, followed by Scar, Gao Xianzi, Shangwan Trace. More than 2,000 ferocious and vicious villains non-stop hoofing, finally rushed to the Tiger Prison Pass. Back. Rumble. The group of horses stepped through, and the countless cultivators around them avoided them. One by one, they stared at Gu Hai at the very front, not knowing how to express the emotions in their hearts. Originally, the crowd had come to capture Gu Hai, but now, no one dared to go forward in general. Looking at the Gu Hai at the very front, that innate realm, but just this innate realm, now gave himself a feeling more terrifying and dangerous than the Yuanying realm. The crowd dodged in all directions, avoiding the path of the horses. Rumble. More than 2,000 soldiers and horses arrived at the ancient mansion in the twinkling of an eye. Between the rumbles, more than 2,000 villains surrounded all of Master Bai's uncle, along with Song Zhezong, who was still alive. The white master uncle, who was blackened all over his body, stared blankly at the more than 2,000 villains in front of him. The crowd of villains were all staring at him ferociously, as if they wanted to tear him into pieces. The terrifying pressure was as if a huge mountain was pressing down. Sitting on top of the black horse, Gu Hai strangled the black horse's reins, grasping a riding crop in his hand, coldly pointing at the opposite side of Master Bai. Just now, were you the one who said you would kill my son? Gu Hai said in a chilling tone.